There's nothing more certain in a mountain biker's life than spending months thinking about your next perfect bike. Then upon buying said perfect bike, immediately realising you're not happy with the spec and deciding it's time for some upgrades. However, some upgrades are more important than others, so this list is all about the ones you probably don't need in 2021. Before we go any further, remember that just like mountain biking, this list is meant to be fun, so don't take it too seriously if you happen to have most of the upgrades we mention. We have many of them ourselves, and it's always funny how we manage to justify that next purchase as a must-have essential. So let's get on with the list. The first upgrade you absolutely do not need is a dropper putt. We had you there for a minute, didn't we? It's actually a top spec drivetrain. Top spec drivetrains are a thing of real beauty. They often feature shiny bits, electronic bits, and if you're lucky, some carbon fibre bits too. They're the cutting edge of mountain bike technology. But in terms of upgrades, we'd wager one that most of us will never need. The obvious reason is price. As an upgrade on its own, a top spec drivetrain is a serious investment. If anything breaks, then replacing it like for like is likely to cost you. Plus, second or third tier drivetrains are now so good that if it was our money, we'd nearly always recommend going for them over the most premium option. They're far more affordable, cheaper to replace, and being made from less exotic materials can even last a touch longer. And for most of us, that's exactly what we need when we're trying to maximise our riding time in the most affordable and efficient way possible. As you probably know by now, carbon fibre is a true wonder material of the mountain biking world. Lightweight, stiff, and with the ability to be moulded into different shapes. What's not to like? You'll no doubt also know that it doesn't come cheap, so might not be the best place to spend your hard-earned cash. Carbon saddles are a prime example. Shop around and we reckon you can easily find one which comfortably sails past the £200 mark. But beyond being lighter, there's not really much else a carbon fibre saddle brings to the table. Like most of the upgrades on this list, if you're a world-class rider, no matter the discipline, then perhaps the 100 grams you save may be worth it. For most of us, we'd be far better saving some cash by going for exactly the same model with chromoly, aluminium or titanium rails and a plastic base. Much more affordable and still amazing at its job. You couldn't ask for more than that. Upgrade number 3 is carbon wheels. A new set of carbon wheels is one of the nicest upgrades you can buy for a mountain bike. They look amazing, save you some weight, and did we say they look amazing? However, beyond the outright kudos and thrill of owning something so nice, we think it's an upgrade we could live without. Carbon wheels are expensive, and if you're unlucky enough to break one, then 9 times out of 10 it won't be a quick repair job to get them up and running again. We'd also wager a higher proportion of a carbon wheel's value is located where it's most likely to break catastrophically, at the rim, whereas the value in an aluminium wheel is spread more evenly between the rims, hubs and spokes. Controversially, we're not even sure they ride better than many cheaper alloy hoops either. Whereas the value in an aluminium wheel is spread more evenly between the rims, hubs and spokes. So if you do happen to break an aluminium rim, then hopefully it will be cheaper to repair and replace. Think we're wrong? Don't forget to let us know why in the comments. When it comes to mountain biking, there are many rabbit holes you can go down. Whether it's geometry, tyre pressures or even power meters, sometimes having or knowing too much can take some of the fun and spontaneity out of the sport. And perhaps one of the biggest culprits is top spec suspension. Before we go any further, let's get one thing straight though. Top spec suspension is amazing, but along with sublime performance and traction, it also gives the potentially anxiety-inducing gift of endless options. Whether it's high-speed or low-speed compression, 20 clicks of rebound damping, travel adjustment, and even automatic lockouts, there are countless ways you can tune and adjust premium suspension. For some, this is great, but for many, and we include some of the BikeRadar staff here as well, too many options can sometimes lead to overthinking your setup. So when you're meant to be present and in the moment, enjoying the all-time loam down at your local woods, you're actually worrying about if you gave it one too many clicks of high-speed compression damping or too few clicks of low-speed rebound. Whether that's a good thing or not, only you can decide. but we suspect many people would fare better by going for some still impressively capable mid-tier suspension and saving themselves some money and option anxiety at the same time. If you're looking to win a cross-country World Cup, then you'll no doubt want the fastest and lightest tyres you can get your lean, chiselled, supremely athletic hands on. For the rest of us regular folk, it's an upgrade we don't really need. Why, we hear you ask? Well, we only have to look to some old timely wisdom to find out. In order to finish first you must finish. If you're a world-class rider, you'll have mechanics eagerly waiting with fresh wheels at the 2 designated pits found on cross-country courses. So if you're unlucky enough to puncture, you shouldn't have to run or hobble too far before you can get your hands on some more of those sweet lightweight tyres. For the rest of us, if we're lucky, we'll have a long-suffering better half or relative that's come to watch us gurn our way to sporting mediocrity on their weekend. And if you happen to puncture those lightweight tyres, you'll either be fixing them yourself, which when your heart rate's at 190 BPM is going to take a while, or you'll be DNFing and heading back to the car. So we'd always recommend sticking with tyres that have some decent sidewall protection. They may cost you a few seconds every lap, but most importantly, they'll drastically reduce the chances of getting a puncture, while increasing the likelihood of finishing the race. In our eyes, that can only be a good thing. So long may the sight of sturdy tyres continue at XC races. What do you think to our list? Are there any other non-strictly necessary upgrades that we've missed? Or are we totally wrong and we should all be going out to buy everything on this list? As always, we'd love to hear what you think in the comments. And finally, don't forget to like, subscribe and click that little bell icon so you get notified every time we upload a new video.